Hi everyone, we're looking at our next topic in our polygons unit. We have just finished up parallelograms, so now we're looking at another kind of special quadrilateral known as a kite. So let's take a look at our properties that go along with a kite and what makes a kite. All right, so for us, a kite, try to make that a little bit bigger, is going to specifically have two pairs of consecutive and for this consecutive meaning that they are right next to each other, and these consecutive sides are going to be congruent. So let's take a look at the picture we have there for just a second. Now, kites more specifically are made from two isosceles triangles, which is where we get those two congruent sides, because I have one triangle here on the left, and in that triangle, I get my two congruent sides. So there are my legs of that isosceles triangle, and some of the labeling is still the same from the isosceles triangle. That vertice with a spot where the two legs come together is still going to be called a vertex in this kite. And then the same thing is going to happen if we look at the other side of this. I get the other isosceles triangle with its two congruent legs and another vertex. So now that we kind of have an idea of what's going on in our isosceles triangles here, let's look at some of those other properties that go along. Now, because it is part of isosceles triangles, we've got some things congruent here, but it's not the same angles that you would think. In a kite, we have one pair of non-vertex angles that are congruent. So let's see where those are in relation to our kite. So we've already labeled where our vertex angles are. So the other two angles that are inside here are the congruent pairs. These are our non-vertex angles. All right, let's look at some other properties for this kite. We're going to be looking at some of their diagonal properties, because these diagonal properties are a little more specific to the kite than they were some of the others. Your diagonals. In this case, both diagonals do not cut each other in half. One diagonal bisects the other. And they are perpendicular. So remember, perpendicular again means they're going to make 90. So let's see where that is. All right, so if I make my two diagonals, again, only one is bisecting the other. and that is the vertex diagonal is cutting the other one in half, making those equal parts. All right, if you notice the diagonal that connects those two vertex angles, one piece is a lot shorter than the other. So visually, even then, they are not congruent. It's the diagonal that goes across the non-vertex angles. That one is being cut in half. And then, like it said, they are also perpendicular, which means we get 4 right angles where they cross. Let's see what else goes on with these diagonals. Now, this next piece is similar to what we learned in the rhombus, because the diagonals bisect the vertex angles. So not every angle in the kite is being cut in half. Only the ones from the vertices. Only the ones from those isosceles triangles. So these two pieces would be congruent to each other, and the same thing at the other angle. It would be cut in half, making 2 congruent pieces as well. So let's see how we use all of these different properties. All right, so find the value of x in this kite. All right, so then there's my 2 congruent sides. So they are equal to each other. The other 2 sides would be my congruent parts. So x is equal to 12. Example 2. Find x and y. Well, right away, first thing I notice, my congruent sides are the 2 on the right, and then the 2 on the left. So if they are in non-vertex angles, they are congruent. So right now I know y is equal to 146. I have a 47 degrees in the right corner. And I know what a 4-sided shape is supposed to equal by doing 180 times 4 minus 2. So that is a total of 360. So if 360 degrees is my total, let's take out what we've used. So 360 minus the 146 they gave us, minus another 146 from the one we just found, and then minus 47. So then my x should be 19 degrees. Oops. Sorry, let me double check, make sure. 360 minus 21. Sorry, 21 degrees. X is 21 degrees. All right, let's try another one. Okay, example 3, find x and y. All right, so based on what I know from those properties, again, I know that in the center, there's 4 90-degree angles. So right now, I've got some numbers going on here. If I have this 18-degree angle on the left, I also get it on the right. And right now I have enough to solve for this top right triangle because every triangle is 180 degrees. So 180 minus 90 minus our 18 that we just put over there. Means that X is 72 degrees. And if I have 72 on one side, I also have it at the other. And we can do the same thing at the very bottom of this triangle, because if I have 29 on one side, I also get 29 degrees on the other. And now I can repeat the process we did for X. My Y is supposed to be 180 from the total triangle minus 90 minus 29. So that means Y is 61 degrees. And now we have them both. All right, couple more. All right, example 4, very similar to the one we just did. Find X and Y. So right now, again, I know in the middle, there's 4 90s going on. The 41 is a piece of my vertex angle, so I can copy it into the bottom one. So there's this exact same process we did earlier. So to get Y, I can do 180 from my total minus 90 minus the 41 we just got. So that is 49 degrees for your Y. Sorry, let me get Y back up there. And we're going to do the same thing to get X, because again, in the triangle with the X, you've got a 90 and a 78. I just need my last one. So my 180 total minus 90 minus 78. Which means X is 12 degrees. Last example we've got, example 5. Now we're doing a little bit of solving. Again, we've got our congruent sides. These have to be my non-vertex angles, so they will be congruent. So let's solve this. So 12x plus 62 is equal to the other one of 134. And minus the 62 to both sides. Four minus 2. So now we have 12x equals 72. Divide the 12. And X is a 6. And that's it. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about kites. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions.